welcome back to another episode of Femboy Fishing. Today we are in my kitchen because we're going to be making fish cookies. For those of you that don't know, before I even made the Femboy Fishing channel, I used to work at a bakery. One of the things that I used to make at this bakery was fish cookies. Some of you old viewers that also happen to follow me on Twitter, I guess it's X now, but some of my older viewers that used to follow me on Twitter, they may remember I used to have a Twitter account called Boy Modder Baking, where I would post a lot of the things that I bake and make. Baking is kind of one of my other hobbies besides fishing. So I was thinking, why not change things up a little bit and integrate a little bit of baking into the channel? So that is what we are doing today. We're going to be using two fish cookie molds that I have here. One of them is supposed to be a bass. So this is a cookie cutter in the shape of a bass. And another one is this copper one, which is in the shape of a trout. We are going to be using a secret recipe. I don't know if I should really even call it secret because so I guess it's not really a secret anymore if my subscriber base of 130,000 subscribers is seeing the recipe, but whatever. It sounds cooler if I say it's a secret recipe. It's actually my grandma's recipe, which has kind of been passed down within my family. And we also used to use this recipe to make these exact same cookies and also many other sugar cookies at the bakery I used to work at. So let's get right into it. Starting out, you're going to want to preheat the oven to 350. You are going to want to get 3/4 a cup of butter, which for context, that is about the equivalent of 1.5 sticks of butter. I have already cut this one stick of butter in half here, and I've already left these out on the counter a while to soften. Let's go ahead and get these in there. Come on! Thank you. Okay, so next, you're going to want to add your 2/3 cup of sugar. And I'm using a 1/3 cup, and I'm just going to put in 2 scoops of this, which is 2/3 a cup. Okay, so now you're going to want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's get that in here. Okay, now we're going to add our egg. Get that egg on in there. Pretty good. The last thing we're going to add is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You could also use bread flour. I have done that before. It tastes pretty much the same. 1 cup of flour. And 2nd cup of flour. All right, I'm going to set this at a low speed so that the flour doesn't get kicked up everywhere. It may take a little bit for those ingredients to work themselves together, especially if you're using butter, which is not that softened. But give it time, be patient, trust the process. I forgot how long this takes. I'm very impatient. Okay, that frosting is looking very done. Okay, now we have our finished cookie dough here. I put it on some wax paper because for some reason we don't have parchment paper in this house. I recommend if you make the dough but you're not going to roll out cookies right away, wrap this in parchment paper and keep it in the fridge. It's good for up to 2 weeks. So to roll out cookies, what you're going to want to do is I'm going to take some all-purpose flour here. And I'm just going to sprinkle the countertop, and don't worry, I did wash this countertop this morning. So we sprinkle that flour on the table, and then I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit on the dough itself just so I can have something to give it traction on the rolling pin side, like that. I don't like to make these cookies too thin, but I also don't like to make them too thick either. You kind of almost want them to be like 1/4 of an inch thick, or at least that's my preference. Whatever you guys prefer, that's what you guys should do. Before I forget, we should also grease the cooking sheet before I start putting cookies on it. It's probably a good idea. We'll start by adding a couple of trout. Also, while I wait for the cookies to get done, I'm going to let my dogs in because they're getting restless. Rooster, Rudy! Oh, here comes Rudy. Hi, Rudy. Hi, Rooster. You guys know Rooster. No, no. He's sniffing the counter. These are not for you. I'm sorry, these are for a friend, and also maybe me, but mostly for a friend. Oh no, the tips of these two just broke off. I guess I'm gonna have to eat them now. That is very good. This is my favorite kind of sugar cookie. Like, it's not too overly sweet. Like some sugar cookies, they are just so overly sweet that it's like hard to eat more than a few bites. These are just the perfect blend of not too overly sweet, but still sweet enough that, you know, it doesn't taste like just like nothing. It's really good. I like it. We have all our cookies here, 3 trays worth. Now that these are done, we can get defrosting. Okay, so there is 2 stages to frosting these cookies, or at least the way I do it. There's 2 stages to frosting them. The first stage is just basic flooding. It's basically where I coat the entire cookie in a solid base of white, right? And then I let these sit for usually a day or 2, and then I come back in 2 days and I decorate them. So for now, it's just gonna be white icing for today. Yeah, that's a good consistency. That'll work. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what we're working with. You want about that kind of consistency. See how that kind of melts into there? That's about the consistency that you want, or at least that's the consistency I like. So I like to get these, I have these like little, they're almost like a mustard bottle type of thing, but they're made specifically for frosting. I got these at Michael's in particular. You can change out the tips. Recommend using kind of a tip about that size, kind of small, but not like really, really small, just something kind of like that, a little dot. So what we're gonna do here is just take this frosting, get a big clump of it, and just fill up the bottle with it. All right, there we go, we got a full bottle. Screw that back on there. Now we have a flooding bottle. When I used to work at the bakery, I used to have a little cookie turntable kind of thing. It was like this tiny little turntable kind of thing. You could put a cookie on it and spin it around. It kind of made it easier. I don't have that anymore because when we sold the bakery, we gave that little cookie turntable to the new owners. So I'm gonna use a plate. A plate works fine. And what you're gonna do is you're going to want to fill out the outside edges of this cookie. You want to get it kind of close to the edge, but not super close to the edge, because otherwise it'll run off the edge of the cookie. You do that, and then I'm just going to fill this in like that. Kind of went very close to the edge, but that's generally what you want, is something like that. Have the frosted cookies. That's the first layer. This is the other tray. This is the full tray right here. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these up, and these are going to sit for a day or 2 until the white layer completely dries. And I will see you guys in a day or 2.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so we've waited a day. And I think these cookies are finally ready to be decorated. The white frosting layer on the top is hardened enough where I think we can use edible ink pens on them now without it busting through the frosting layer. So I think these are good to go. I think we're ready to start decorating these. I went out and I bought a brand new bag of powdered sugar because we were out of powdered sugar before, and I ended up having to use a little more meringue powder than normal. So this time we shouldn't have to worry about that because we have more powdered sugar. Get a nice amount of powdered sugar in there. And we're just going to put in a little bit of meringue powder. Okay, we got this to a pretty good consistency, I think. It's nice and thick. So we'll go ahead and add our black food coloring. All right, I think this is gonna work. It's more of a gray color, but honestly, I think it doesn't matter. I mean, it's really just to make an outline for the cookie and also add the dots and attach the eyes. So I'm changing out the tip on the end of the bottle here. So it has a bit of a smaller hole, which makes it a little bit better for outlining the cookie because you can kind of make more straight, thin lines with it. Now I like to get very detailed and decorative with my fish cookies. Obviously, you guys don't have to do that if you're trying to replicate what I'm doing. I just personally like to do that. Like I said, I like to use these edible ink pens to decorate my cookies, and I like to blend colors and not make it totally realistic, but make it really close to kind of being like what the fish looks like in real life. I'm gonna start out here by taking this light green and just going over the top of the cookie with it. And I'm gonna take this darker green and I'm gonna blend it in with the top green so it makes kind of a nice gradient. Okay, so rainbow trout in real life, they have a sort of pink or red stripe that's in the middle of the fish. So I'm gonna start out by taking this pink and making that middle stripe just like that. They also have a little patch up here, almost like they're blushing. Rainbow trout have in real life. They have this little patch of like pink or red in the front, just in front of their gill plate. I'm gonna take some red and just kind of go over the pink with it, just to kind of give it some more depth, like that. We'll take some yellow and go over the belly with it, just to have something going on the bottom. Now we're gonna get out our bottle here, and this is where we start to add the details with the black bottle here. All right, so now we basically go over the whole cookie with this black outline. I'm trying to keep the trout centered so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm so used to doing this on a cookie turntable where I like to turn it around and move it as I work on it. And we'll go over and add the fins. Give them some detail. Can't forget the little tiny adipose fin that's up here. Just like that. And we'll even take it a step further and we'll add the little lines of the fins. So give it little spots. Since rainbow trout are covered in black spots like this. I got these candy eyes at, I think it was at Michael's. Any place that sells baking stuff, they often sell these little candy eyes. What I do is I put down a dot of that black royal icing up in the front here. A big dot, and then you just place the candy eye over the top of that. And just like that, we have a rainbow trout cookie. I'm gonna make this one a largemouth bass. So we added that same dark green layer onto the top of the cookie. Now what we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna grab a black pen. I prefer to use the edible ink pens to make the middle stripe over the royal icing. I think it looks a little bit better. We're gonna make a big black line. It's kind of squiggly, but it's like a straight line with squiggles in it. We're gonna make a big line down the middle of the cookie there because largemouth bass in real life have a pinstripe like that. Just like that. And there's our largemouth bass. I made the pinstripe a little bit off center, but I think it's okay. Okay, I just finished the cookies. That took a little bit longer than it probably should have, but that's okay. Take a look at that. We have quite the assortment of different cookies here. So of course we've got our rainbow trout, right? a rainbow trout or largemouth bass, another rainbow trout, a brown trout, another largemouth bass. This is meant to be like a red band trout, like a wild trout, like a baby one. It's got par markings on it. We have another largemouth bass. We have a rainbow trout, like literally a rainbow trout, a trout that's a rainbow colored trout. Another rainbow trout that isn't rainbow colored like that one. Two smallmouth basses, a brown trout. We have a trans trout. This one's my favorite right here. We have another largemouth bass, a ladybug trout, another rainbow trout, and a brown trout. We can't finish out the episode until we at least try one of the cookies. So I'm going to eat the ladybug trout, which is this one, because I feel like eating this one. It's red. I don't know if it tastes like a ladybug, but I guess we'll find out. So let's try this. That's good. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys really like this episode. I know it's a bit different than the typical episode that I usually make, but I feel like the channel kind of needs that, you know? I've been making essentially the same kind of video for like the past 3-4 years, and I'm getting tired of it. I imagine a lot of you guys are getting tired of it. The algorithm is also getting tired of it. So yeah, I hope you guys really like this, and if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. I would love to make more baking videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Hey, you're really cool. I like you. I'm gonna give you a kiss. Mwah.